Razor 94.7 104.7.
Well, hello, Blake from SAUL. Are you coming from beautiful sunny Iowa to us today, or what?
Yes, I am. I actually just got home. I just finished the second record. I just got home from Nashville last night. So
Right on.
Perfect.
We are here today to talk about our Mental Health Awareness Month, which is May, and myself, Big Jake, and you, we've all been pretty vocal about our struggles with it, what we've overcome, and we just want to chat about it and help eliminate the stigma that guys like us shouldn't be dealing with being sad, or like being anxious. So
right.
I want to know what your mental health life has been.
I definitely some depression and anxiety for sure. I mean, I don't think you could be in this industry and not have a little bit of that. I mean, that's kind of ingrained in what an artist, I think, does. I mean, everybody's trying to combat it, and just from personal experience, stress and everything just adds to this. And like the music industry is a stressful place, you know what I mean? Trying to be in all the places, being at the top of your game and in the best health you can be. And it really just adds to it. And um, and it's a lot of hurry up and wait games. So that really adds to an anxiety level, uh you know and the depression really started to kick in when we felt like we were at a momentum when we released Brother, and everything was starting to go, and then COVID happened and everything shut down, and everybody just started you know drinking more, and like just going like, well, this is the end of it, man. We did it while we could, and that's really you know that's really what we were dealing with at the time. And I think, and coming back from it, everybody being more active and getting into it. And, with this next record, I think everybody's, combating it. And plus, I mean, uh, getting ready for all this stuff. And during that time, I had a child and all
Well,
that stuff. So
congratulations.
thank you. Thank you. And, I mean, just from an experience of like what the anxiety level and like everything that I was dealing with. I mean, just on that, we toured with Atreyu, and at the time, I just had a son, and he had to spend the last week I was at home in the NICU. And during that time, I was renting at the time. My landlord comes to me and he's like, "I'm selling your house," and he's like, "You have to move." And so in that last week, I had to buy a house, take care of my newborn son, move, and then get ready for tour. And then we were gone for 6 weeks. And it's like, and like I had a breakdown on the tour. I was like, this is too much. I have to leave. I have to leave. I'm going to freak out. So yeah, we had to bail for a couple of days. And I mean, it's part of the game. You can't go into work every day and be like, this is the best day. I'm gonna, everybody's trying to give it 100%, but it's the unfortunate thing is they think that we're, as an artist, for some reason, people get the idea that, artists are like superhuman, or they don't do this. They're just emotional on paper. They're just emotional in songs. It's like, that's just not the way it is. Everybody's dealing with real life, and sometimes it's really heavy.
There's a lot of things with people in our industry where you can't have a bad day because we're so
Yes.
public. And how did you pull yourself up? Like, how did you get through that stretch where you're like, man, I can't do this anymore? What did you do to pull yourself back up?
Yeah, it was really my wife, my bandmates, our manager, our the label just calling me, or our booking agent being like, you know, take a couple days. We get it, we know what's going on, but get back to work. You know what I mean? And then so I collected myself, and I was just like, you know what? Yeah, I had a freak out moment. You know what I mean? It was too much. I was overwhelmed. I was just overwhelmed. And I just collected myself and pulled it together. So that's kind of just what I had to do. I just had to hear from people like, it's all right, take a breath, you know what I mean? So that's really what we had to do.
100%, man. And getting out of that hole is so difficult. You know, that's some of the hardest things to do, are to dig yourself out. Once you're out of it, what are some of the things that you do day to day in order to kind of try and keep your head above water? I know routines typically help, but what are some day-to-day things that you do to kind of boost your mental health a little bit?
I definitely try to stay active. You know, so the whole COVID talk, during the COVID talk, and that didn't help this whole time, you know, gaining weight, drinking more. So when I came out of this and we started being more active, I definitely, I like to, we hit Planet Fitness a lot. So I like to stay active doing, you know, working out, and that really helps the mental game, because just working on yourself in general, you know what I mean? Working out, or just being more active on social medias, I think, because I was trying to take a break from that as well. And when I did that, I felt like I was taking a plummet, and I was letting people down doing that as well. And so getting back to doing that was really a turning point in, like, all right, I can see kind of the fruits of our labor a little bit, you know what I mean? People are interacting with me again. I felt like I was in a hole, but doing stuff like that, and then just vocal warm-ups every day, just, you know, kind of keeping it together. I mean, that's kind of stuff that I do.
Do you think,
man,
with the heaviness of the music, you know, the physicality of that's got to add to the catharsis of, you know, bringing those emotions forward? And, you know, even as a consumer of music and not a producer of music, I'm sure, you know, obviously you're a fan of stuff. Is there some type of, like, a genre or a band or like an album that you listen to that you know, helps out with alleviating stress, or, you know, helping you through like a sad time? I've been burdened with a lot of grief in the last like 6 months or so, and if I find that music is my best way of communicating, just by
Yes.
listening. Is there something like that helps you?
You know, I really go back. I don't know if you guys are a fan of, but I really go back and I listen to stuff like Modest Mouse.
Yeah.
Um,
mm-hmm.
I love that band, man. Those guys are so good. Stuff like that. My favorite album of all time is like 13 Step by Perfect Circle. So I'll go back and, like, I won't listen to it for a long time. Then I'll go back, you know, and listen to all the tracks and kind of just collect myself on why I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Rather than being stuck in my own negative world, and I'm just like, all right, I still love this, you know what I mean? I'm okay, kind of thing, you know. So that's like the two albums I really go back to. I just, anything Modest Mouse and the 13 Step album.
Man, that 13 Step album it's like a nice blanket in a cold room.
I agree.
I'm with you on that. You know, COVID was tough. It still is tough. The whole lockdown, everything shut down. How did you use that time to, you know, focus on yourself? And then you said you guys just got done recording your new album. How did this new music, you know, help you through that? Or what motivations did you use for it?
There's a lot of, okay, so like on this next record, you're gonna hear there's a lot of emotions going on. Um, just specifically, we have a song that's going to be coming out on it called No Mercy. In the chorus, I said, one didn't hurt enough, three is way too much, give me two for flinching, and don't let up because I'm still alive, show me no mercy. And it's really about, you know, I lost my mom, I lost my brother, and then I'm just kind of in the song, in the chorus, I'm telling the world, don't let up. You know what I mean? I can take it.
Mhm.
I'm still alive. Don't let up on me, show me no mercy. So um and you know, there's just a lot of stuff on there. Us AD. um I mean, you'll just have to hear it. You'll get, you know, I have a song in there, you know, literally about all mental health, and it's called Runaway. um just talking in there, I want to be somebody else, I don't want to be myself anymore. And you know, that's what I'm talking about. And I'm just, you know, in the song I'm saying, treat me like a runaway because I'm vanishing, and I don't think I'll be missed. And it's, we have a lot of hard topics on there, and um it's really deep. It's really deep. This album, I think, is gonna, you know, I made a post on social media. I said it's hitting all the spots, and it's hitting everything that I absolutely needed to say. And I think people are going to connect with that.
Definitely excited to check it out. When you're writing emotionally challenging topics, do you find it easier or harder to articulate kind of how you're feeling? Because I've heard some artists talk about how they can spend, days, weeks on writing a song that's really close to them, or sometimes it comes out within 15 minutes just because there's so much emotion that they want to get down on the page. What's your process when it comes to articulating your emotions in music?
Okay, so it's crazy. It can definitely go many different directions, but generally the best way is like I'll have like it'll just be a topic, and like I'll have a title, and I'm like, I want to write about this, I want to write about this, I want to write about this, and then I'll have that, and then Zach, or because we just got done working with Kyle Odell down in Nashville at No Heroes Studios, and I'll just be like, I want to write about this. It's the kind of the title I'm thinking, and I'll have a lyric, a little bit of a lyric bed, and we'll start, going with the music. But if I'm not feeling it right off the bat in like the first 30 minutes, I scrap the idea for that music bed, and then I move on to the next one. I'm like, all right, this is the one. This is the new low. This is the jam. This is what it's going to be, and we can always circle back to that because there's always a music bed where I'll look back at that title and be like, this is Runaway. This is Runaway. This is the one it's going to be. You know what I mean? And then I start diving in on really honing in the lyrics and the melodies and stuff like that. And as far as when it comes to lyrics, just honing in on what I want to say, I just say exactly what I want to say. I don't try to really sugarcoat it or do it in an really artistic way. You know what I mean? I do. I mean, I try to make it poetic, but I'm just saying like, well, this is exactly what I want to say, even if it's the most basic lines, the brick wall. I just want to say that, you know what I mean? It's like, just like, the song Brother, that's exactly what I want to say. I said it's this story almost verbatim of exactly what happened. And, I think that's what I like to do. And I think that's what people connect to.
Oh, 100%. That's people can sometimes tell when you're sugarcoating things or playing things up. It's the real stuff that I think most people can relate to. So that's interesting to hear the way that you just kind of layer down different beds and come back to them from time to time when you're struck with inspiration. I like hearing that. That's cool.
Yeah, I do like that. And like the last song we did on the record was the song Runaway we did. And at that time, so I'd been in the studio, we'd been down in Nashville for 46 days. And I'm like, I got to get out of here. You know what I mean? I got to get home. I mean, I felt like when I came back home, I had to like introduce myself to my son again, because after that 6-week tour with Atreyu, and then I was home for about a month, and I was down there for 46 days. I was like, man, this kid doesn't even know who I am, and so I was feeling that, and I just, I had this idea, and I wanted to call. I was like, I have an idea, just running. I'm running from something. I'm running from myself. I'm running from everything. And then it just snowballed in like, 45 minutes. We had the music bed. In the next, hour and a half total, I'm laying down and tracking the vocals. I'm like, all right, cool, we're done. See ya. Then we just left Nashville. It's like, but it was that fast, and honestly, it just turned out to be my favorite track on the record. It's so good. It's so good. I love it, and it's honest and true. And it's a lot of times when you sit there and you try to overdo it, like, well, I didn't want to say it like this, I kind of want to say it like this, I want to be, you know what I mean? I think you can overdo it, and then when you're like, well, you got 3 hours, get it in, get it done, and get it tracked, and then you just like, you think fast, you're like, well, I want to say it exactly like this, and you just go for it. And I think that's awesome. That's always a fun way to do it too.
I do want to go back to your first record, and the first song that I ever heard from you was Brother. And I also had a brother who passed away when I was 20. And then yeah, it was when I first heard that song, I was in a music meeting, and I actually had to leave because I was very overcome with a lot of emotion. Because damn, dude, I know exactly how you feel. And man, I don't know where I'm going with that, other than I just wanted to say that because it's so like there's a band that I'm drawn to a lot, Mastodon, that writes a lot of stuff that's about like losing family and things like that. And I'm really drawn to that type of music, because it's things that, like, I don't know how to say that, and grief is such a weird, fickle bitch,
Yeah.
if I'm gonna be honest. And it's just, it's got to be inspiring, and it's liberating for my brain to know that I'm not alone, and it feels like you are alone, and that's like something that we're not alone in this battle, and that
Right.
we can rely on people. So I just wanted to say thanks for that song, because it meant a lot.
Yeah.
uh,
No, that's great. And and then the response, we've just gotten from that song alone on exactly what you're saying. They're like, you said it exactly what I was thinking, exactly how I was feeling. I was like, that to me, and you don't know how a song like that, when you put it out there, and especially to be like our first single, I mean, you don't know what's going to happen, what people are going to say. It's like, this is lame, or this sucks, or you know what I mean? You just never know. But the response was like, been there, you know what I mean? Like,
mhm.
I've lived it, you said it exactly how I wanted to. And it was just like, whoa, that's unbelievable. And like, you helped me through this, and you know what I mean? So, to have that, and that's something I really tried to, on this record, is I just wanted to say it. I just wanted to say it. And, um, exactly how I was feeling, because in 19, I lost my mom in 2019. And we kind of did it with King of Misery a little bit, it was kind of along that lines. But on this record, we wrote a song called Us AD, and it's Us After Death. And I wrote it literally from the perspective of my dad. And there's some lines in there that was choking us up, because like, just I remember, because we were in Dad's house, and Mom's on hospice, and she's laying there, and Dad's like, it's okay to go, it's okay, we'll take care of each other. And it's in there. Man, that was hard to say. Right there. But and just say it, and hopefully
Yeah.
it comes across like that.
I know what you're feeling, and it's, man, it's very tough. I lost my dad and my sister in 6 weeks
Wow.
last year. So, oh man, yeah, it's it sucks. I am It sounds odd to say this, but I'm excited to hear that, because those are things that, you know, art is a great way of expressing emotions that, we don't know how to say. A picture can say way more than words could ever describe. A
Hmm.
song can say way more than a picture could ever be described, and so I want to say, again, I'm going to say thank you, but I think it's great that you're able to do that, to be able to put those emotions into words, into music, and to share your life with people. And I think that's something that it's got to be a great liberation for your mental health, to be able to know, like, hey, I put all this stuff out there, and people are there. And I
Yeah.
think that's something that a lot of us need to know, is like, it's not like it. If you want to hold on to it, you can hold on to it, but just remember, man, there's someone out there that's willing to listen to you. It's been through something like what you've been through, and it's not worth it just to bottle it up and suffer on your own.
Right. Right. And as an artist, I think it's almost like a responsibility to say things like this, because you got you know so and so that does a construction job, and a secretary and stuff, that need to say that but don't know how to say it, but need to hear it, you know
Mhm.
what I mean? So it's almost like a responsibility to be able to talk for everybody, and like, when they come back to it, like, that's exactly how I felt when my mom passed, or that's exactly how I felt during depression, or exactly how I felt during COVID, or you know what I mean? This describes my cousin to a T, you know what I mean? Like, that stuff. So it's you know it music and art is healing, and like, we just have to dive into that and focus on that, and let it be let it be what it is. You know, it was a great thing when we were in the studio, and Kyle Odell, he looked over at me, he's like, can we just be the men we're supposed to be? And I'm like, God dang, that was an awesome line.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was awesome.
Wow. That's really good. Yeah.
So it was cool. And the whole experience down there, just we all felt connected, and like, this is what we're doing. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it's really going to come through on this next record.
Well, I got to say thank you for your time, and thank you for opening up about this. I know I'm excited about it. I'm sure Big Jake is
super excited.
Yeah.
Super
Awesome.
excited.
So
Awesome.
but thank you so much for talking to us about this. It's a very hard subject to talk about. But the more that we do, the less hard it will be, and maybe the more friends we'll make along the way.
Absolutely.
All right.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
You bet. Thanks for
Thanks,
your
Blake.
time.